Have you ever heard of the phrase, putting yourself in someone's shoes? Or have you been around someone who is sad and you felt how they were feeling? This, my friends, is what we call empathy. Hello, my name is Kristen, and today I'm going to discuss empathy and its importance in everyday life. I have used empathy to help understand my fellow coworkers and their feelings. It has also helped me build a good rapport with my family, friends, and peers. Empathy is used in a wide variety of ways, whether it be understanding while someone is upset to showing emotion and being empathetic towards someone else's feelings. Since most of you are business students, I believe that you will take away the benefits of empathy and how it will help you succeed or excel in your line of work and everyday life. What is empathy? How can this be useful in everyday life? How do I develop empathy? These are things that will be discussed throughout this piece. Let's talk about empathy. What do you think it is? Well, empathy is the experience of understanding another person's thoughts, feelings, and the condition from his or her point of view rather than from your own. So it means that you feel what others feel and you understand others' feelings. In an article by Justin Bariso, he explains the views of two psychologists, Daniel Goleman and Paul Ekman, and their concept of empathy. There are three types of empathy according to Daniel Goleman and Paul Ekman: cognitive, emotional, and compassionate. Cognitive empathy is the ability to understand how a person feels and what they might be thinking. It makes us better communicators because it helps us relay information in a way that best reaches the other person. So a good example of this is a psychologist. They can understand a patient's feelings without experiencing the feelings themselves. Emotional empathy, also known as affective empathy, is the ability to share the feelings of another person. Some of you have described it as a pain in your heart, or you feel sad for them. This type of empathy helps you build emotional connections with others. So here's an example. How many of you know who Dog the Bounty Hunter is? I would say some of you do. If you do, then you would know that his wife recently passed away due to complications of cancer. When you found out the news, did you feel sad for the family? Did you feel a pain in your heart? I know I did. So this is a prime example of emotional empathy. Even though you didn't know the family, you felt their pain. Compassionate empathy, also known as empathetic concern, goes beyond simply understanding others and sharing their feelings. It moves us to act, to help however we can. Volunteer work is a good example of compassionate empathy. You see in the news where people are going out of the way to help people in times of need. Many of you have heard of the Dakota Pipeline and the protests that were conducted to try to stop the pipeline. Actresses such as Shailene Woodley and entire groups of Indian tribes were arrested. Many were attacked by dogs set loose by private groups hired by the pipeline to get rid of the protesters. This display of violence led many people to take action against the pipeline. The way that people felt for protesters is a prime example of compassionate empathy. So how would I use empathy, one might say? Good question. Empathy is used in a wide variety of situations. It is beneficial when it comes to human interaction. It also helps aid in getting feedback for future reference. It helps people understand feelings and it helps them to handle situations that can result in conflict. As previously discussed, many people have used empathy to act. They volunteered in many organizations that help people. According to Psychology Today, helping others can lead to a healthier life. Who doesn't want to be happier? I know I do. So in the working world, empathy is referred to as emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is highly used in the workforce. So according to Dr. Travis Bradbury, author of Emotional Intelligence 2.0, emotional intelligence is the ability to observe and translate one's own emotions as well as connecting with those emotions and to best guide thinking and decision making. So empathy is the same thing as emotional intelligence when used in a work environment. It helps you to better understand the feelings of others to help communicate and build a foundation of trust, which is crucial in a workplace. You don't want to be in a group of conflicted people. That's not a good way to work. In a leadership position, it'll help you understand the feelings of our peers in a way that don't cloud your judgment, and it helps in making rational decisions based on the situation. How can I develop empathy? Well, according to Psychology Today, empathy is a condition of functional interpersonal relationships which can range from friendships, marriages, parental relationships, and on a professional level, student teacher, managerial, or professional client relationships. Most humans display some form of empathy. However, there are people that do not have empathy. Most people that don't have empathy are known as psychopaths in the psychology world. Psychopaths usually distribute non-empathetic behavior. Think about how you were brought up. Did your parents teach you to care about others and their feelings, or were you told to just worry about yourself? So, a quote from Kendra Cherry: "The way we treat others and the way we feel about others reflects our own personal beliefs and upbringings." Meaning, the way that we treat people or sometimes how we were brought up. So, according to Psychology Today, there are 9 ways to develop empathy if you do not have empathy. Focus your attention on the welfare, interests, and needs of others. Key into shared human values. Suspend temporarily your own considered judgments and critiques. Connect with the target. Connect with the person. Use reflection, meaning that reflect on what they're saying. Maybe you have a story that they can relate to, right? Something like that. Listen to your target. Actually listen. Don't just say, oh, yeah, just respond basically to their questions. Listen to what they're saying. Use self-disclosure as appropriate. This goes along the same line as connecting with the target. Only disclose what you think is necessary. Don't make it into something about you. It's about them. Properly distance yourself to and from the target's subjective world. And practice. Always practice. It helps develop empathy. So I hope this has brought some insight as to how empathy can be beneficial when it comes to being successful in everyday life and how you can use it to better the relationships you have with other people and also to guide you on a better path of living. So we've learned that empathy is understanding someone's feelings from their point of view and not your own. We know that being able to understand others' feelings can lead to better communication. Empathy can be used to build connections with people. Most people are hardwired to use empathy and can adapt to certain situations when used. However, it can be learned if necessary. Whether it's in a boardroom meeting with your peers to interacting with a stranger on the street, empathy can be helpful in any situation. So I believe that if everyone in the world used empathy on a regular basis, it may be a less violent and a much happier place. So be mindful of someone else's feelings. Always put yourself in someone else's shoes because you never know what someone else is going through. I'll leave you with a quote today by Max Carver. Empathy is the starting point for creating a community and taking action. It is the impetus for creating change. Thank you.